This is going to be the driver's side walkaround of the 2021 BaseCamp, and it says it's about 8.9 feet tall, but boy, it just seems a little taller than that. This is a massive garage. But anyways, let's get into it. So this little guy right here is the solar charger, and Zamp is probably the best known brand. Airstream has its own brand, which is about $1,000. It looks more flexible. I'm gonna do a little bit more research before I invest in that. Got a pretty good long life battery on order, and so that should hopefully be coming up in the near future. I don't honestly know what this little panel is here. I think it's a vent more than anything, but these you can open these up and clean behind them. I think I'm just going to wash behind it with a pressure washer or a hose. When you clean the outside of the BaseCamp, this is obviously you want to go with the grain to avoid scratching it. You want to use a microfiber cloth to dry it, non-abrasive soap, soft brush. Same goes for these guys here. Definitely want to use something that's not going to abrade these. These also open, but the window behind here is tinted, so it's going to look about the same. This just gives a nice layer of protection and privacy. Obviously, you've got some lights up on top. See if I can get this flipped around here. Sorry, you're looking at my messy garage. It's actually my kids' side of the garage, which you can see is a jack full of bikes and other stuff. Moving around a little farther on the side here, this is just a little storage compartment. It's not airtight, so whatever you put in here is going to get dusty. It's fairly small. This is for the Stinky Slinky here, and you can kind of secure it a little bit better. You can see how easy that is to come undone. You don't want to lose your Stinky Slinky, particularly if you're on a long trip. They're not crazy expensive, but a decent one is going to set you back 20 to 30 bucks. This is your black tank. In the BaseCamp, there is no gray versus black. It's just all one tank, and that is how you empty it. Nothing unusual or different here. This is a lockable compartment. This is a pass-through shower nozzle feature, so to speak. Certainly you can use it for other things, but you can see it's a little bit on the flimsy side here, and on ours here, there is just a gap there and just a sort of a defect, and this is like a plastic cover. So this is going to be a little bit of an issue. I'm going to seal this up so that the shower isn't full of dirt. Particularly, we travel on some desert roads, and the sand is fine, and it's going to get in here, and the bathroom's just going to be a mess. Particularly if you store things in the bathroom. It's the logo of the BaseCamp X. The main difference with this is it's got a lift kit on the tires, and these are good looking tires. Are Wrangler by Goodyear, and a little bit more clearance underneath there as well. This I believe is for winterizing. This goes right into the seat where the bed and the table is, and there's a variety of heating elements in there, the tank, and a variety of stopcocks, which can be a little bit confusing. We'll go through that in another video on how to winterize this. Winterizing it, at least at the dealership we bought this at, was very reasonable. It was like, I think, 150 bucks, something like that, but obviously a long drive to get that done, so we're just going to do it ourselves. And then we've got the water here as well, and so this is pouring it in basically with a hose. Definitely use a white hose. And then this is for hooking it up directly to the faucet. This just primes the lines. You don't actually fill the tank with this, so if you are at a resort and you have access to potable water and you want to hook up and have your lines primed and use that, certainly that is the route to go. This is your 30 amp plug-in there, so you're going to rotate, wiggle it on, and fasten the fastener tightly here as well. We bought an adapter to plug into the normal garage type outlets, but we have an outlet on the side of the house next to the shop where we can use that as well. This is an exhaust thing. This is really an essential thing, particularly if you're trying to determine whether or not your heating unit is working. So when we trialed this out the first time, it was relatively cold and parked in the shade, probably upper 30s, lower 40s. You could actually see the condensation from the heater collecting down below. So, you know, this is the intake, this is the output, and we'll let you know that your heating device, furnace essentially, is actually working. This is the window that pops out. It doesn't pop out a ton, but it does give you a little bit of ventilation. Make sure to fasten the cloth over the opening mechanism. It's just a way to prevent bugs from getting in. So that pretty much wraps up the driver's side tour of the 2021 BaseCamp X.